Hello and welcome everyone to Wednesday on the Hook with Cynthia. My name is Cynthia with Cynthia's Joyful Creations, and I am so happy to be here with you, not only to spend some time with you, but also because Wednesday means 1 hour of free crochet, anything we want to do uninterrupted. So let's go ahead and get it started with our little ladybug timer. And here we go. And she is set. And you'll probably hear her ticking, but that's okay. So what are you guys working on today? What is on your hook? What is it that you absolutely wanted to just take some time out of your busy schedule and just spend some moment of joy just working on? For me, I'm working on a little small project today, and it is actually something for myself. And so this is what I have so far, and I've kind of shown this a little bit on conversations videos last Friday if you were on Cup to Hook conversation. And here is the back panel, and I'm making a little small pouch. Here is the piece that will go, and the sunlight is coming in. And if you notice, by the way, for those of you who've been following my journey, I am back in the studio. Yay! I'm actually sitting in my wheelchair. I don't think you can tell. This is it here. So yes, my husband helped me get everything set up in a way that I could do whatever I needed to do, and be able to sit in my wheelchair and be here. And I have my walker right here so that I'm able to kind of walk in and out. So it is nice to be able to kind of get out of the four walls of the living room. I am not alone. I do have my friend Beverly here with me, just kind of helping and assisting me, because unfortunately 2 days ago I did take a fall and had a little bit of a setback. The leg that is numb and I don't have mobility in took a hit, and it swelled a little bit and intensified some of the numbness that I had in places I already had it, and it actually created it in one place I didn't. So frustrated with myself over that, but we just pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and keep going, right? And if that don't work, we crochet, right? So this is the little panel, and I was just trying to tell you that the sun is coming in. It is gorgeous, it's beautiful. I'm loving every minute I can get any sunshine on my skin and on my face. So this is going to be the sides and the bottom part of the pouch. So as you can tell, it's not going to be a very wide pouch, but I just needed something that I could attach, and I'm not finished. I've got to make the little straps that I could attach to my walker and be able to unbutton and put on the wheelchair. That would help me be able to carry my my chapstick, my little bottle of hand sanitizer that I carry, maybe even a little bit of lotion, and definitely a face mask. And so I needed something to be able to help me have those things with me at all times. So that's what I am working on today. And hopefully I will get all of it finished except for sewing on the buttons, because I will have to get some help from someone to get into the armoire and get my buttons. But that is okay. If I can get that far, then I know that my little bag will get made. So right now I'm just going to kind of play around with actually putting the bag together, and then that way I can better judge how wide I want the straps. So that is what I am working on. And the one thing, I'm a little out of practice. It's been some crazy weeks, but I'm so happy to be somewhat back on schedule. I know a couple videos have been coming out a little bit late, or not at all, and I apologize for that, but hopefully 100% for sure next week we will be back on schedule. And I'm even happy to say that a new video series will be coming out tomorrow, so be looking for that. And I hope you caught the new video series that started this past Sunday. the Yarn Joy Adventures. And tomorrow's series is called My Joyful Life. Go figure. Joy, 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 joy. Did you get the picture that I want everyone to have joy? So the one thing I forgot for today is to look up our question. So let me just take a quick glance at some of my questions. And we will have a question to discuss while we're working on our WIPs. All right, so this one, my granddaughter, and most of you all know, her name is Violet. And if you are not aware, you can always go check out the video that I put out for Miss Violet. It was called Violets in Winter. And the Friday after my surgery, my sweet granddaughter and her mom, and I believe it was Violet's aunt, and I know her other grandmother, my daughter-in-law's mom, all went to the zoo. And Violet loves the zoo already, so that is fantastic. My boys grew up at this particular zoo, so I'm ecstatic that they are already introducing her to the zoo. Of course, the theme that they've kind of created for her is animals and dinosaurs. So what better way to introduce her to animals than the zoo? So I guess you figured out that our question will have something to do with the zoo. And so it will. So while I'm getting ready to ask you this question, I'm going to go ahead and put some lotion on my hands before I start doing anything with my yarn, because as I've shared many times before, it is always great to make sure we take care of our best tool. And in crochet and in any craft, our best tool is our hands. So it's always good to keep them moisturized and hydrated. What is your favorite animal at the zoo? Oh my goodness. I actually have more than one. But let me think for just a minute, and I will tell you for sure what my favorite one is. I'm pretty sure I already know what it is, but I'm just going to really think. I'm going to kind of take my mental mind. Our zoo is called Riverbank Zoo. Riverbank Zoo and Gardens, to be specific. And I think I started to tell you that my friend Beverly was here. And I do have my daughter-in-law and my granddaughter Violet here. So they are here with me, and maybe, just maybe, you might hear a little giggle or fuss or music playing in the background. And if you do, just know that is some sweet loving from Violet. And you might even hear the dogs. We have Sadie here with us today and Mackenzie. And I have my other grand dog Falcor here. So we're kind of a busy little place today. Busyness means happiness. All right. So, favorite animal. I think I'm just going to go ahead, even though I'm kind of taking a quick tour through our Riverbank Zoo real quick. I think my all-time favorite, this is hard. That's actually a lot harder than I thought, because I love tigers, because I love their bright, sharp colors, but I love the strength that they represent, kind of like the lions when it comes to protecting their family, their cubs. And you know, I'm a very family-oriented person, so that's why I like tigers. But then you see, I also really like the kangaroos and the koala bears. And I like the kangaroos because I love the idea of being able to pick up my little baby, my little Joey, and putting him in my pouch and just being on the go and being carefree. And I just love to watch them. They're just so fun to watch. And koala bears, I love the fact that, you know, they find their little niche in the tree and they might eat a little bit, they might sleep a little bit, but they're kind of like in their own zone. And what I like about that is they're not concerned with what their neighbor's doing. And they're just living in the moment, you know? And I love the elephants. I just love that they command, you know, when they're coming through with their big trunks and they're just like, rah, just taking control. And it seems like they're the leader of the pack, you know? And I love their independence. Even though they're big creatures, you know, they have those trunks, they can feed themselves, they can take those trunks and throw water over their back to cool themselves off. And I love turtles. I don't know why, but I'm drawn to turtles. I'm fascinated by them. I think I like the fact that they kind of just take their time going through life. They're in no hurry. They're in no rush. And you know what I'm talking about. Our life is always so busy, so crazy, so hectic. But turtles, they take their time. And it seems like they get less distracted. And even though they're slow, as we know, between the tortoise and the hare was faster, but the tortoise won the race because he was focused and determined. And they have time to notice the new flower that's growing. It might even be a tasty morsel. They have time to kind of stop and maybe share the same mud hole with another turtle and catch up. Seems like they have time to kind of duck in and take a quick nap and take care of their health. But the question says, what is your favorite zoo animal? Favorite zoo animal? And you know, there's the giraffes with their long necks. I love the way the hippos glide into the water. I'm fascinated by the seals. Love to watch them eat. Love to watch them play and do tricks. I love watching the penguins waddle everywhere. That's how I feel like I do. I feel like I waddle everywhere. I love to watch them dive for the fish as well. I love all the pretty exotic birds. I even love watching the lemurs jump from tree to tree. When I think about it, we're pretty blessed. I mean, God gave us a lot. Now, I'm not as crazy excited about going into like the aqua center and looking at all the snakes and all the frogs and all the slimy critters. But if there's a glass in between me and them, then I do like watching them. I do like looking at the snake with the long eyelashes. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. I do like looking at the snake that has this tiny little long pointed nose. I do like this very dangerous venom viper looking snake that's got this cool looking triangular head. I do like looking at, you know, the snake that moves sideways. The anaconda that what they have, it scares me. And I do like looking at the alligators. But my favorite zoo animal. I guess it's a good thing God loved us and He created all these animals. I mean, the zebras, they might be black and white, but they're beautiful. But I think I'm going to have to go back to the elephant. I think the elephant is my favorite. Now, when I was a kid myself, I loved the fact that my mom would get us to the zoo in time that we could watch the seals be fed at 10 o'clock in the morning and then again later at 2 o'clock. But, yeah, I think I'm going to stick with the elephant. That's my favorite. So what is your favorite zoo animal? And you might have to go through the same process I did. I'm glad though that we don't have a zoo of just one, you know, animal. And you know, I'm fascinated by the gorillas. I could sit and watch the gorillas for a long time. I love watching their behavior and how they do things. And it is funny, especially when there's a baby gorilla, how similar they are to us, you know, when it comes to nesting and taking care of our babies. I just love going to the zoo. Now, the older we've gotten, my husband and I, our zoo, it kind of has two parts. At the very back of the zoo, it has a carousel, and they brought in other stuff. They've got a rock climbing wall, and then they've got this other thing where you can, you know, go all through it. It's like a maze, but you go way up in the air, so you have ropes and stuff attached to you. It's, you know, pretty cool. And they're coming out with other stuff. But down by the carousel, they've got this bridge, and you can either walk over it, or you can take a little tram ride, a little train, they call it, but it's like a tram. And on the other side, they have kind of like a flower garden. And they have all kinds of flowers and plants, and it's just gorgeous. And they've got water, you know, different kind of water fountains or fountains throughout it. And then they've got this little section in the middle where you can just sit in rocking chairs and rock and enjoy looking at the garden and whatnot. And of course, you know, natural birds that are not part of the zoo, they fly in and out and around, and that's cool. Sometimes on a really quiet day, you can hear the monkeys, not the gorillas, but the monkeys. You can actually hear them. Some days, you can actually hear those monkeys, you know, a couple miles away from the zoo. They're very loud. They have kind of like this loud, you know, bark type sound they make, especially during the spring and the summertime. But we love the zoo. And my husband and I, we've had several outings where we've gone without any of the kids and just enjoyed it. We'll grab an ice cream and just sit on a bench and talk and sit in front of one of the exhibits. But sometimes the squirrels alone are entertaining. And we'll take some of the little nature trails that they have, and then outside of the zoo they have a picnic area, and there's a lot to do there. The kids can climb these rocks, and there's nature trails there too, and there's the big old broad river, and people go swimming and canoeing in it. So there's a lot to do. So I'll be curious to see what is your favorite zoo animal. I'm tucking my tails in on my little panels here so I can go ahead and get them wrong side out and sew them together. That's what I'm going to start with. But first I'm just weaving my little end tails in. I'm excited to get this little pouch bag done. It's kind of a quick little project, but for me, I feel like it's a little necessity because those are some items that I like to have near me to hang on to. So a story I can tell you about our zoo. When my boys were still fairly young, they were all in elementary school. We were at the zoo one day and we were watching, we were standing around the seal tank. This is the old one. They've actually closed it down and renovated it and brought in a brand new one, and it's really big. It's like huge now and has a rather large viewing area, and you can either view from the top or you can view from underneath and watch them when they dive in. They used to have polar bears, and we could do that when I was a little girl, that you could see it like that. There was only one, maybe two polar bears in there, but they don't have polar bears anymore. But anyway, we were there and they had just started their little show of entertaining and feeding the seals. And all of a sudden this lady starts screaming really loud. And of course, my first fear is, oh my gosh, somebody's child's done fallen in or something, or they've dropped something in the tank or whatever. Even though there's fencing up, people sometimes stand on the fence line even though you're not supposed to. But she was screaming and it was getting louder and louder, and then all of a sudden all these other people started screaming, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? And there was a mouse. Now, I'm not talking, like this little teeny tiny critter. This is like a sewer rat. And he was huge. And he come out of the bushes. I guess he smelled some fish and he wanted some fish. But I had never seen a crowd of people scream so loud and run so hard and so fast. Now, I'm not going to tell you that we were standing around there. But it was so funny. So anyway, that's a memory that the boys and I have talked about from time to time. About, remember the day of the mouse? The mouse at the zoo. We could write a children's story on that. But anyway. Alright, got all my tails weaved in. I hope everyone's having a good week. I know that some of you may be watching this at the scheduled time, which actually I'm going to say you're not, because I just looked at the time. And it appears I'm going to be getting this video out late, so I do apologize for that, but I am trying. I still have some good days and bad days, but we're hanging in. But the point of what I was going to say is, maybe your 1 hour to crochet with me is not on Wednesdays. Maybe it's on Monday nights. Maybe it's on Saturday mornings. But whenever it is, I'm just happy that you're finding at least 1 hour to say that you are worthy enough to be able to have some time to just set aside every week for yourself to just do some crocheting. I have a friend right now, and she's got a little situation going on, and she is not able to crochet because it affects her hands. And that's awful, y'all, because crocheting is her joy too. And when you can't do your joy, that's tough. That's why I say, with everything I'm going through with my leg and not being able to feel it or have mobility, at least it's not my hands and my arms, and I'm able to still crochet. Now, I did have back surgery, although sometimes I forget because most of my pain is my leg. But I do have to be careful because sitting long periods of time does put stress on my back. But one good thing, I've got these nice little pillows that are the same material as the wheelchair that came with the wheelchair. And they give me some cushiony support, so that helps. And the other thing I like about my wheelchair is it helps me to sit up straight. I'm not one who likes to slouch much. So I love the fact that I'm able to sit up, you know, fairly straight in the chair. And I just realized that I am going to stop and take this out a minute because I'm going to start from the other side so I can go all the way around and not have to stop and cut my yarn, that I can have one piece of yarn that kind of creates the bag all the way around. So, not to mention, I just realized that I'm putting the two panels together, but I'm not putting the middle insert. So, good thing I caught it now. Good thing I got an hour, right? But that's okay. That's what I love. A good bit of the stuff I do, I try to look at someone else's object, not necessarily a pattern, but their object, and I'm like, I can figure out how to do that, and then I can make it my own. There's a blanket that Krista from the Secret Yarnery made, and it's got circles on it, big bright circles. And if you are familiar with Krista from the Secret Yarnery, you will automatically know what blanket I'm talking about. And whew, my hair's frizzy. It's still drying, you guys. I got to wash my hair today. Oh my gosh. So it is still drying, but I wanted to come spend some time with y'all, so I knew y'all wouldn't mind the frizz. But anyway, I love this blanket that Krista has made. And I don't really know for sure if it's her pattern or if, you know, she got it from somewhere else. But I know how to create a circular piece of object. I'll just have to play around to figure out how to square it off to create it into a granny square. But I'm going to do it. And not to take anything away from Krista or whoever designed that blanket, but it's just the fun of trying to create your own. But yeah, trial and error is involved sometimes. just like my little pouch here. I'm not following any pattern. I'm just kind of winging it. Kind of like I did back in the day when I first started my channel last spring and we made the checkerboard. The checkerboard and the checker pieces were not my pattern. I gave credit to the person that made that. But the little bag that I created to hold it all in, that was one of my project patterns that I created. And so that to me sometimes is the fun of things, is being able to design it. Just like the pocket shawl I made. Woo! I learned a 5-weight yarn or higher is probably really too much for a pocket shawl. I used a 5-weight yarn and it made it really heavy. But I'm not going to knock it though, because I love it. And on a real cold night, that heavy pocket shawl, it keeps this girl warm. But I do like the lightweight red one that I made for myself. And if you're familiar with the ones I did, I made a blue one too. And the girl that I made it for has already received it and said that it would come in handy, so that's good. I hope she enjoys it. Alright, so now we have all our ends weaved in, and this is going to be my outside part. So let me see, that's going to be an outside, and this is going to be an outside. So I need my outsides to be in, because I am going to weave in on what will be the inside, and then I'll turn it wrong side out or whatever, right side out. Alright, so this is the side that I want to be on the outside, so it will go like this. Alright, now we're going to get this right. So again, I'm curious to know what your favorite zoo animal is and what was on your hook. So I look forward to reading your comments. And today has been a great day. Like I said, I've got my friend Beverly here and my daughter-in-law and my granddaughter. And then tonight, sadly, my daughter-in-law will have to go to work. But that means I get to spend some time with my son. And my youngest son is going to come over as well. So Isaac and Andrew will both be here. So how about that? What a great way to end the day. Spending some time with both my boys. Andrew has one of these virtual reality players, and he wants me to do one of them. It's kind of going into outer space, and he wants me to do it. And I told him, as long as I can sit down, I can do it, but if I have to stand up, I won't be able to do it. Because even though I can stand up, did you hear sweet little bug? Shh, listen. I was going to say maybe you can't. She's got such a good little mommy that takes good care of her. She loves the ceiling fan. and she will talk and coo at that ceiling fan. So we're looking at getting a mobile for her. So I'm going to try to make it the full hour with you guys. My leg is really hurting. I do have it elevated. I was so happy and pleased that my wheelchair fit up to my table here so nicely. I am able to elevate the little feet things. They can move up. They can move up like a stirrup. I don't know what that was. I know it hasn't been an hour yet. But anyway, so I've got my legs elevated, but it's a different kind of elevation. And unfortunately, in the wheelchair, to have them elevated, it does tend to force my knees to bend and puts pressure. And that's where I've got a lot of the pain at to start with. So I will try to go the full hour with you, but if I don't, it's not because I certainly didn't want to crochet. It just meant, you know, I have to listen to my body right now. So, and especially my back, since they are still waiting for it to fuse together. Have to be very, 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 very careful there. So oh my goodness, this is going to be as great as good as I imagined it. So, and what's even more exciting to me is that it is going to accomplish what I need it to. So if I don't get it finished in our little time together today, I will have it ready to show Friday on Cup to Hook Conversations. So if you're not doing anything, be sure and come over and join us. That is a live video. And as long as all the little internet squirrels cooperate, we won't have any internet issues. Oh my goodness, this is just exactly what I hoped it would be. Ah, it's so good. Love it when a good thing works out. And honestly, because it's so soft, by the way, I'm using Parfait Layers by Premier Yarns. And that's what it looks like. Oops. And God bless you. And it is 100% polyester. And it is in the colorway Frosty Blue. And let's see. I was looking to see where I got it from, because you know how I would write on my little labels where I got it from, the date, and how much I paid, and if I got it on sale, but it's smeared. So I can't read it. But I can tell you, I can tell from this, I got it from AC Moore before it closed in looks like 2019. Looks like November 18th, 2019. And it's normally $3.47. I'm figuring this out. And I got it for $1 something. I can't tell what the last two numbers are. So I actually have two skeins of this. I have one here, and then I have another one right there. So, because I had them both down, and I finally told my husband, I said, I'm not even going to need all of this one. But what I was going to say is, with this soft plushy material, it'll even stretch a little bit. So it will hold a lot more than what I need it to. But that is cool, cool, cool. Can y'all hear a little wiggle button there? I'll soon need to put an updated video out on her, and I'll probably do that probably mid-March. Her 3-month birthday is coming up, or celebration or whatever. So hard to believe she's already been with us for 3 months. Oh my gosh, time flies. But it does. It flies. This is such a pretty blue. And what I even like even more about this little bag is, especially, you know, when I have to go out in public, because that's what I'm really using it for. I'll use it to have my stuff around the house too, you know, and it'll help me, even though it's not very big. I can put little things in it as I need to help scoop and boot. But the thing is when I do go out in public to doctor's appointments, or if, you know, my husband decides he wants to round me up and take me out, like we went the other day, and ran a couple errands together, I can have it, but I can then come home and wash it. So I can wash away all the germs. It's so quiet today compared to the last time we did this. That timer seems so loud. It's actually kind of soothing, that little tick-tock. And y'all can see the little Christmas lights going on in the back. I'll tell you, those have brought me much joy since I've been home from the hospital. Even though I have to sleep in the living room in the recliner, I leave my studio doors open and I can see them, and you know, of course, their color, although right now they look like they're all white, but they're not. There's some colors that pop up, but they look like they're coming through all white, but there are all kinds of colors back there, and so it makes a great little night light. And the chair, the recliner that I'm sitting in, it literally allows me to just lay there and watch them. So I watch them as I fall asleep, waiting for the medicine to kick in and take me off to La La Land. But at least I'm finally getting some sleep. It had been almost a year since I'd gotten really decent sleep, because I'd wake up in so much pain. Of course, now my pain is from my foot, I mean my leg and not my back. But those lights were complimentary of Kelly Platter. She actually sent me those to put up on my yarn wall for all of you to actually enjoy. But I'm sure it would make her heart smile to know how much enjoyment I get out of them too. Okay. In just a minute, I'll show you what I have gotten done. This definitely won't be anything fancy, but like I said, it's going to serve its purpose for me, and that's what counts. It's time for the doggies to go for a potty break. I decided it'd be probably better just to embrace the extra little noise and tell y'all what's going on versus trying to stop, record, stop, record. This is it. This is my life. And right now, I was going to say I'm enjoying it, and I am. But I'm in pain. In fact, I'm pretty sure I probably will not finish this little bag with you today. Next time I'll try to plan my videotaping of this after I've been able to take a pain pill or something, so that'll help. And the heating pad helps a lot. But I've left it set up in my special recliner that is mine right now. My little home. And I apologize. They're talking about babies and how much Violet weighs. She's up to 10 pounds now. if I'm looking at this correctly, we got about 12 minutes left, so I think I can make it that long. They might have forgotten I was videotaping. At least I'll get half my little bag done. I'm also getting sleepy. It is actually right around 4 o'clock on Wednesday, February the 24th. And I know y'all were supposed to actually have this video out to you at 4 o'clock on Wednesday, February 24th. But it'll be out later this evening. I do appreciate all of your patience as I go through this little journey I'm on. And understand that some days my body just says it needs to continue resting instead of doing something. So, like the Longmire blanket video, it didn't go out until just about an hour or so ago, right before I got on here, and it was due Monday. But sometimes I just have to do the best I can, because after all, I am all about being here to heal my body and have it rehabilitate, and so I don't want anybody taking my crochet away because I can't follow the request of my body. Oh, this is going to be so cute. Okay. All right. So I still have a good bit of yarn left. So I am going to just kind of weave through the end here so I can come out to the other side to start putting that panel on. But let me just stop and show you real quick what I have. So can you see it? It's starting to form the little rectangular piece. But there's the kind of bag. So all I gotta do is put this other side on, and then I'll have this cute little rectangle. Of course, the yarn that I'm sewing with is blue, and it does show up in that white, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I just have such a need for this little bag, so the minute I get it done, it will be put to use. That is for sure. So I am excited about that. Let's see. I got it kind of bunching up on me here, and I don't want that. So let's not pull it so tight, and it'll leave that little corner right there the way I need it to. I tend to be such a tight tension crocheter, although I'm not crocheting right now. I'm just kind of sewing. But I was a little bit aggressive on that pull, and it was pulling it all together, and I got to have a clear little opening, which I do have. So sweet, sweet, sweet. My goodness. Might be time for a nap for me. I take quite a few of those during my little recovery time right now, but that's okay because that's what helps my body heal. So no better way than spend an hour crocheting and then spend an hour or two napping, and then my husband will be home and we'll all eat and spend some time with the boys until they have to go, and then my husband will go to bed to go to work tomorrow. So, and just in case some of you are on here and you follow me on the Cup to Hook Bible chats, my husband did call me today with some very sad news. The little boy Michael that we've been praying for, his co-worker Pam's grandson, he's 11 years old and has cancer, and he called to tell me this morning that when he got to work, he had received news that Michael had passed away. So please keep Miss Pam and her family in your prayers. But as sad as it is, the good thing too is now that sweet 11-year-old boy, Michael, is no longer suffering. God's got him and is taking good care of him. But it's the family that's here that's going to need our love and our prayers. So if you'll just remember them. All right. Looking at our timer, and our time looks like it's almost up. Last time I had to make it ring, so I'll give it a try this time. It's only 2 times I've used it. Was the last time we did the first episode of this series, and now, so we'll see if it rings. If it doesn't ring on its own, I might have to contact where I bought it from and tell them, hey, my timer doesn't actually ding. But we're going to find out in about a minute, it looks like. So I'm definitely not going to get this little bag finished today. But that's okay. Like I said, maybe I'll have it completed and be able to show it to you on Cup to Hook Conversations on Friday. It scared me. Well, it works. Alright, so let me show you what we got. So I didn't get completely finished with it, but I've got it so that it's kind of working down this. Let's see, that sun has gotten bright. Ah. All right, let's get it on here. Okay, so there's kind of a side that's complete. So yeah, it'll definitely show up better once I get it done. But oh my gosh, you guys, I am loving this. Again, it is going to be so perfect for what I need it for when I finish getting it. Well, it might help if I get on camera, huh? And the reason it's sagging right there is that's the bottom. The bottom would come up like that. But I don't have that part done. So, all right. There's a little bit of a better view of it, even though part of it's still sagging because I've got to finish sewing. But my little bag is coming together. I'm excited. It will work for me. Well, this has been Wednesday on the Hook, our 1 hour of free crocheting of pure joy and happiness. And I appreciate you hanging out with me. Again, please be sure to leave in the comment section below what your favorite zoo animal is and what you are working on. Well, I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, and make your own joyful creations. Bye, everyone.